This is gonna be a weird stream.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the end of an era for D2E.
Yeah.
Because like we haven't finished a series in a while. Kingdom Hearts 1.
No.
Or,
Well, A Way Out.
Oh yeah, that's true. We did do the streaming for A Way Out. We did do a couple other things, but it's been a while since we finished one. Either way, A Way Out was a while ago. Billy Hatcher.
Oh God, no!
Billy Hatcher took us a while.
Billy Hatcher took a lot out of my soul. Like,
oh boy,
I still have flashbacks.
Yeah,
man.
that sure was the thing we did.
Oh boy.
Just banging out to the.
You want to hit the button?
Yeah, I guess we'll start. Final day trial.
All right.
Not ready. Guess I am. Let's do this. Let's get it done. Ho ho ho.
This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be?
Does she have something better to do than be in jail right now? I had a prior engagement.
And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if...
this could be anybody.
Let's just do it together. Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Oh God, we were totally off on that delivery.
I think it's a good fake roll.
Yeah.
Edgeworth.
Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. I mean, literally, who else could it be? Please write in. Tell me.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it!
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll never know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth.
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
I don't know what it is, but my Edgeworth is lacking today. I gotta shape it up because we're
more
gonna...
pompous.
The pomp in my chest.
You see that thing he's wearing? I need you to visualize it.
Okay.
Believe in it. Focus. Become it.
Yes. Yeah. My heart is pumping right now. Feel the pump. Don't be stupid.
Hey.
Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you. Come again? If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright.
See you in court, Edgy.
I also like how they fade out of existence.
Yeah.
I like to imagine nobody walks anyway, they just apparate like wizards. They do like the spinny thing.
They rub their like a badge.
From Fantastic Crimes and Where to Find Griswold.
This is it.
Alright.
If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now! I figured that was a real anime talk, shout at the end.
Yes, ikse! That's a very anime thing for a protagonist to shout.
Yes. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky.
Okay.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Satanga has joined us.
Hello, Stanga.
But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
He just fucking showed up.
Chief Gantz! Oh my god, you were right.
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Aji, been back to the pool yet?
Oh my god. No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
I propose you let me manipulate the law.
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
Ooh.
Oh boy. What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Boo.
Huh?
That's it, stream's over.
Yeah.
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I'd murdered Detective Bruce Goodman. Boy, what a wacky day that was. I'll never forget. In the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana! My perfect streak! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
That's actually a good angle to go by at this point.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana!
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it is sufficiently proven its case in circumstantial and circumstantial.
If you're a new viewer, good luck.
Sorry, newbies. I don't know, one of you?
I have no idea.
No clue.
No clue.
I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Losers, how dare you not have Master Roshi? Hey, Zach. Zach! Check out the green screen! Look, the judge is right there!
Look at him! Look at his beard. I just want to stroke it, but my hand... disappeared into the void.
Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise, this can't be happening! It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Capital time.
Oh boy. One moment, Your Honor. Edgeworth's pissed.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gat. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
No shit, Kent. You're bad at this.
Some kind of deal. Not everyone operates as you do, were they? I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Who? To whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Ms. Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to contend.
I don't care what you think, Ms. Skye. Man, how long has he had that shit bottled up?
I mean, I think we all have.
Like, tell him off, Gant, tell him, like... Just, like, you can take this job and shove it, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it
that,
is, yeah.
He's got that rage in his heart.
Superiors.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, Chief Kent?
Why ask? He's a police. He doesn't have any say in here.
Oh, God. So, I got a voice clip from Zach, and I have no idea what's about to happen.
Good boy. Let's listen in.
What, you think you kids can get away with not doing Master Oshi for the judge? How dare you!
I can't do a good Master Oshi. It just turns into Jerry Seinfeld. I'm sorry.
You just gotta believe in it, son!
I start to sound like him for a half second, and then immediately it's Jerry Seinfeld.
What's with these Dragon Balls anyway?
Yeah.
Starts to that. Oh my god. Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Ms. Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. I love it when he gets aggressive.
Just look at his eyes. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name's Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I hate even saying these dumb lines.
It most certainly is.
Dumb shit. Well, okay then.
I went to the fourth floor. Yes, like he is just
Yeah.
tired of having to prove this over and
I
over.
mean, how many times do we gotta do the same thing? He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. What a weird line. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial!
Gasp.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable, however. Please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth. What does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no, evidence. Very well! The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I just like the idea that he's just like, you know what to do, right? And Wright's just like, no, I don't!
Yeah.
It's all up to you now. What?
Yeah, he gives him like a wink and just, Phoenix just panics.
Ah!
What does that mean?
Okay.
I should pin the crime on Emma.
All right. So I know exactly what this is. I have to go here. He was stabbed in the back, not the chest.
Yeah. Your Honor, that statement contradicts
Wait a
this
how does that
penalty?
not... How? What the fuck?
See,
That's-
now I gotta rush you that.
It's so obvious, though.
Wow.
Stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. The description even says he was stabbed in the back.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Oh, just fuck you, game.
Oh, we got screwed.
All right, let's elaborate on this statement, and it'll be like, yes, I'm sure it was definitely in the chest, and then we present it.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's not even the way it goes. That must have been a real shock.
Even now when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was to his side and the two began wrestling each other.
Fresca.
I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. She's very stupid. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can.
All right.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
I like that Emma continues to prove she doesn't understand. It's been literally 2 years.
Yeah.
With lines like, it was around this time. It was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was the... Oh, wow. Guys, what are you doing here? Wow. Alright, Fresca.
It's a very good impression of me.
So the electricity... I can't speak at all now. The electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim.
Stop!
So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective... And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Right? Speaking English, it's hard.
Yeah. Don't let me in with you.
Yes, but
Did you say that to me in Edgeworth's voice instead of your own?
Don't lump me in with you.
that's why I drew a picture.
You gotta get the fucking picture in the...
Oh, yeah. Have you heard enough?
Ask about the
picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so it seems to have been lost, and then I just present... This is the one, right?
It's on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Edgeworth never turn papers over?
Nobody does until this case.
True. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence.
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy! All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it didn't exist. Behold!
He fucking said behold.
Oops, sorry.
This behold! Whoopsie! Now behold!
Nice. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Was this your card?
Turn it over. Turn it. Ah! What's this? It looks like a drawing, the thing we've been talking about. Could it be the same? I'm just guessing.
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
Objection.
If these two lists fit together to form one. I just imagine he's so slow. I can only imagine him talking like that.
Then they'll combine into a giant evidence-finding space panther.
I call it a
Or not.
super paper. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, you got played like a fool. Only half the evidence in the case ever reached you.
What? What?
That's a big what?
Especially considering he knows that Chief Gant screwed him over somehow. Is he just, like, playing it up?
Order! Order! He got played like a damn fiddle.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, you guys are so right. But, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head! if the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Huh?
Yes, that's quite conceivable. Why don't we turn papers over in this universe?
Yeah, especially considering it looks like it's drawn in permanent marker.
I think she took charcoal or something. It's just
Yeah,
the way
like
it's drawn.
either way, someone would notice.
It's very intense. Like just all black crowns.
Like even then, when they're like holding the papers up, like they
Yeah.
all hold them like this.
That's true. You
So-
would see through it.
Somebody
Yeah.
should no. The other person should see it.
That's true.
Like Phoenix
Yeah.
should have been able to see. Hey, Edgeworth, did you draw on the back of that? You know, like 3 days ago, maybe that would have happened.
This case gets dumber as the more goes on.
Oh my god. It's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
Or bit my tongue. Son of a whore.
I don't think you would say that. Do you even have to ask? You're making the screen shake.
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something undrawn on the back of my list. It's that thing!
That's that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Badger time.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
There we go.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
Did you space out?
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture.
The Blue Badger murdered him!
It was the badger!
Put the knife in his hand.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
All right.
Good luck.
All right.
Boop, boop.
Exactly what I saw. I'm assuming that this is what I have to present.
Right.
Do I have to press anything? Do you know?
Oh, you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, just save us some time. I don't think I
Okay.
have to press anything.
Press the fourth statement.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
Well,
Wouldn't be the first time. You remember Angel Star? Remember Lot of Hearts? Remember all our unreliable witnesses?
well,
I mean,
I held that longer than I thought I would.
Ooh, no, of course not.
Andrew gets the world record for world's longest. Well, I mean,
I can go pretty far with it.
yeah.
I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary.
You're self-employed.
He'd find a way.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would influence me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
Alright, I pressed the fourth statement. Oh. There's supposed to be more.
Okay, here we go. On the fourth statement, present Neil's autopsy report.
Okay, now we get to the fucking... Oh my god!
You were so far ahead of this game.
So dumb.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Actually, I love it. But this picture the witness drew.
Doesn't your attorney's badge say bearer of bad news?
I think that's more of the prosecution's kind of thing, right? Contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you just simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? It's not what you think it is.
The knife? Hey guys. How you doing? We're back. Sorry about the random thing cutting out. We had some audio issues. Andrew has gone to use the facility, so it'll be just me for now. I'll be doing all the voices. It'll be fun for about 5 minutes. So, haven't done Phoenix in a while. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man's holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
I'm trying to get a Roshi there for Zach.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Hey! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. Hope everybody in the chat is with me here. Things are happening. Andrew will return. Just let me know you're still there and everything's cool. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is that the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Oh! Shit's happening, guys. I'm gonna reach over here and do some a little bit of stuff. How does Andrew do this? Twitch. There we go. Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During this questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. You alright?
I mean, I'm doing better than your Phoenix sounds. Sorry,
I tried to reload it because nobody was coming up in the chat.
Right.
But, it says we're live, and this says we're live.
Okay, so we lost pop chat. I'll
Yeah.
fire that back up.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Okay. Just give me a moment.
Alright, you want me to keep
Yeah, go for it.
Phoenixing for a minute? Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying! The man really was holding up a broken knife! If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Dun, 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 dun. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? I've been doing Roshi since you left.
I don't know if Zach's still around, but I'm sure he would appreciate that.
Yeah. Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Let me look at the court record real quick. Do I have any other... I wonder what I'm supposed to be doing. There is another one.
Ooh.
If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Right.
Mr. Wright! In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I'm back.
Alright.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us, oh wise one.
Just love how much shit he talks for not following most of the events of anything that's happened.
Right? That's why I was putting extra sass on it, because I'm just like, why is he talking like that to poor Phoenix?
Yeah.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
It's the picture, right?
Strangled him with a picture.
No, that thing.
Oh, you mean like in the statue?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got the broken tip and everything.
Yep.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Not sure why I said that. Right here inside of this picture.
This is a picture of the award ceremony. Oh!
Nicely done. Oh, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon!
Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's A broken knife!
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. That's right. Order! 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 Don't do it.
Yeah. I know you're a fan of the order.
Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. Our internet continues to suck tonight. Thank you, Comcast.
Yeah.
We pay good money for better internet. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. Do you remember that whole long-winded explanation? When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife.
It was detachable from the trophy for some fucking reason.
That is bizarre.
like
That's like the most unbelievable part of this whole thing.
yeah.
Is that you're just like...
Maybe I guess he just broke it. Or
He-
it's like
he stabbed it while it was still attached to the rest of the trophy. He was just very careful the way he did it.
yeah. Okay.
Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol.
I'm gonna call an objection on that. You're gonna look at this guy and tell me he didn't carry a pistol?
I mean, he's from Texas. Why would he have a gun?
Look at him. He's probably packing under that stupid vest. Alright.
This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be!
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murder and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh! Oh! It's like, I'm gonna try to sell that. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that.
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
Man, Judge has a drinking problem. I tried to say judge drinking and problem all at the same time, and it came out wrong three different times.
I mean, you're correct to me being very silly and very stupid. Would you please tell us what you record, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First a knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting.
Ding.
Do you remember why the blue badger's in the drawing?
Yes.
Okay.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
You are a dumb kid. Green screen! Look, we could. Oops, sorry. We could point at the judge. Everything's reversed.
Yeah.
This is certainly most unusual.
You're telling me, buddy.
Try impossible!
Oh my god. He's so mad.
The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its crossing.
Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further.
Lana, where did you come from?
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Wednesdays at 8 on ABC. Leave it at that, starring me, Lana Sky.
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Also, stop calling her Chief Prosecutor Sky. She's clearly losing her job.
Yeah.
She's even, lying in this trial.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination.
Bailiff. We have a bailiff?
Yeah.
Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It's Larry Butts. Yo, Nick, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What you been up to? I'm in court.
Check it out. I got a nightstick. It's in the shape of Rodon's the Thinker.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of this matter.
Get to the core. All right. All right.
What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Okay. I know I have to present the thing, but do I have to press anything first?
Press the fifth statement. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Objection! The blue badger is not creepy!
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Oh, you guys are about to get it? Who is this Blue Badger really? I'm sure! Blue Badger hadn't even been tripped up when Emma drew this picture. Yet, she's certain she saw its shadow.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. The possibilities are endless. Oh man, I see it. It's all within my reach. Possibility. I'm singing the theme song to Sonic Unleashed.
I know you are. I know you're doing that. The question is why?
Why? I like Bowling for Soup and whatever his name is.
Just read the line.
He sang that
Just
song.
read the. Just read
He
the.
does
fucking-
Chuck E.
just-
Cheese, and he did the Phineas and Ferb
Just
thing.
read the line. Just read the line.
It is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright.
She's so happy!
Yeah. He's like, hey, you actually believe this ridiculous thing?
In this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in an instant? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger look-alike. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this.
But
That's... Whoa!
sorry,
It's okay.
I was doing Edgeworth voice. For whatever reason, I thought it would be Edgeworth.
But that's, what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain old jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? Everybody, turn your head up. No, flip it the other way. Now spin it. Spin. Like this. Yeah, spin. Like clockwise, spin. Okay, now bring it down. No.
What are
I
you
was
doing?
trying to get the horns just right.
I had it.
Did you?
Yeah, look.
Is that the horn?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I thought
Yeah.
it was the nubby.
No, it's this.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Well, is this a miracle or what? Hey, look at this white void.
Yeah.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
So silly.
No one!
No. It can't be.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Location, right?
You want to save it? How sure are you? Yeah, you're right. Oh, hang on. Oh! Huh! Pick any. It threw me off. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired.
You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office. That's like 10 feet! There's no way you could move a body 10 feet! You'd have to use some kind of a trolley.
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason!
Exactly.
Huh? What you talking about, Wright?
If there was a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. She's insane. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent that jar flying?
That would have had to been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes, I am thinking for once. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility? It's as if the possibilities are endless. I see it.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say no and you just didn't, so...
I was just letting you go.
Oh, okay.
Woo! You want to tank this stream? That's your
Oh, no,
prerogative.
I entertain this stream.
Uh-huh.
I raise it up with my zaniness. We all can't be talented voice actors who could read English, okay? It
In
sounded
fact,
like...
none of us could be that.
I thought that was going to be an insult if it come out that way. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright? Oh, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious.
He raised me up. Hey, that's why we want you here. We're going to sing.
In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Christ!
That was animated so weirdly.
Dark.
Joe Dark.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Yeah, it was really bizarre to see.
No!
I don't think she said thud when she hit the ground.
Yes, you did, totally.
Thud.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances,
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body.
he called your lettuce guy nasal hell. It just is
I
cracking
don't
me
know what you're talking about.
Was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're gonna have to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get the dead people to testify yet.
Wait till it's attorney 6.
Yeah,
guys.
that's what I was about to say. I was like, it's coming. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Yeah, at 8:36, you literally get ghosts to testify.
Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind.
Is in the evidence.
You're darn right. This message from the deceased, it's already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky.
I think she's just jealous because, like, her sister actually got to kill a guy, and she, you know,
She's taking the
she's got to
credit for it.
pretend to kill a different guy.
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth.
Oh!
No matter how painful it may be. Trust me, I thought I killed my dad for like 10 years.
Hi, Bryn.
Hello! Welcome to our green stream. It's more transparent and more ethical. It's a green screen stream. You're not the only one that can make cringy jokes today, buddy. Yeah, we're having
Now
fun.
then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
It's the jar again.
It is?
Yep.
This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he just gonna speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar! A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here. Drawn in blood?
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines?
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message for some weird reason.
Yeah, like, does anyone actually do that? Leave messages in their own blood?
I mean, in this game twice, but, well, no, once.
Yeah.
That was fake. But yeah, that's also why. Like, did he really want to pin it on the 14-year-old girl?
I understand that, like, you can't find a pen. You can never find a pen in
No,
these
but,
kind
like,
of situations.
My point is, like, why would he care so much to prove that the little girl killed him?
Yeah. If I were stabbed in the back and hanging
While I
from
was
a
fighting
halberd,
a murderer, and
I
like,
would just
some
be
girl
like-
tried to help or get in the way, I get up being upset, but
Yeah.
it's weird, right?
I would just be like, fuck, I'm dying, fuck, I'm dying, fuck, I'm dying. Like, there would be no other thoughts in my brain past that point, right?
Yeah.
You would just go in a complete shock.
Yeah. Especially walking back or getting knocked backwards into a suit of armor.
Yeah, like how fucking your
Yeah.
brain's not operating.
Yeah,
on
he
that
reaches
level.
over, grabs broken shards of jar, and was like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God her name is only 3 letters.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd have to go back for more.
What is this, Final Fantasy 1?
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar when the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
I was wondering how you were going to shout in that voice.
Mr. Wright! What kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Why didn't we have to say this? I gotta connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Falk. Oh. E. Star. Oh, it's an M. It's an M, good folks.
Tau, 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 tau. It's a 5-point tau. You never know until you try.
You gotta connect the... No, okay. I was gonna say, do you have to connect the E? It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. Aiden was like, Falco?
Yeah.
After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this.
Yep. Here we go.
Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
I wanted to prove to the world that a 14-year-old girl killed me!
Of all the people...
Yeah, except that's impossible for
She
reasons we will
may
prove later.
not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life...
Was Emma Sky.
Dun dun dun.
Now she'll
Except that's
finally
not really
stop.
how it happened.
Following me around.
Yeah.
Spoilers?
Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Cat, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
Innocent?
Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
That we already proved he was given?
I didn't interpret that.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice?
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge.
Fuck the rules. He's got pink glasses.
Yeah, for real. Why don't all the new people have pink glasses?
Also, I do really, again, we gotta say it every time we see him. His head is a thwomp.
Yes. Everybody soak it in.
You'll never be able to unsee it.
Yeah.
Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
This makes absolutely no sense.
What's going on in the prosecutor's office?
They might have sent an innocent man to his death. Order! 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 Murder so bad, don't you know? I don't understand. I know this is a Japanese thing. I know this is like a weird way they like to tell stories. This makes no sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
This is bonkers at this point.
Yeah.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
To be continued
Like
right now. To be untoed.
an accidental murder of a guy who was about to kill another guy anyway, slash
2 years ago in a trial that was resolved.
with a 14-year-old girl, slash Edgeworth was given bogus evidence, which we already proved he didn't know.
Yeah.
So, like, what?
Yeah, for real.
Like, what?
Yeah.
We're not, like, on our ropes feeling that we've lost. We are still kicking ass and winning.
Yeah.
This is not like, well, let's stand out in the hallway and be sad, but
Yeah,
here we are!
yeah, it's one of those things where you see an anime, it's like, it's not my fault for murdering her, it's your fault for not protecting her good enough.
100%.
Yeah.
I knew you were going with that.
Yeah.
That's why I started pointing at you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's what I was driving at. You put it so perfectly.
That's what they fucking...
Oh, I hate that crap.
Well, maybe if you didn't suck as a protagonist, I would be a worse antagonist. Like, no, fuck you, it's your fault.
Right.
Like, I don't care about your shitty moral relativist argument. Like, no, fuck you, it's your fault. There is an absolute way you can determine this.
When we do the new streaming setup in a few weeks, we need to like push a button and it's just the American flag blowing in the background while we're on our soapbox.
Yeah, when I gotta get the stream, like the little
Pickups.
stuff in there,
Yeah.
the pickups,
Yeah.
maybe a soundboard, new
Ooh,
audio
soundboard.
equipment. Yeah, I'll be working on it. I'm excited to see what we can do.
Yeah, it's gonna look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
America.
Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it?
Anything to avoid conversations about your feelings, huh, pal? You're kinda not a knife, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And you top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. This may have happened before.
Right.
There you go.
I was saying, like, I can only say that not protecting mentality might be important to the third game. I haven't played the third game yet. We will do that later this year.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Is that one worse?
Oh, so much worse.
Okay. I remember the second one has a case where it gets a little Lana Sky-y.
Yeah.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Especially because she's going to get fired.
Yeah, she's so fired.
Yeah, she asked me to give you this to you
That
if there
is
was
adorable.
a break in today's trial.
Have any of you played the Dangon Rampa? Because I'm sure I sure haven't.
I have played Danganronpa. It's crazy go nuts.
Should we do one of those?
I would like to.
Okay.
I really like Danganronpa.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of this type of thing in it.
I think it's going to be hard for me. I assume there are a lot tougher names to pronounce.
Oh, fuck yeah. They are. It is Japanese as fuck.
Yeah, that was my feeling.
There
I was
was
like,
there was no localization at
oh
all.
no.
You gotta understand, our Nakama is unbroken.
Oh no. The Katsume.
Yeah. Yeah, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
Why wouldn't you know about this? You try criminal cases all the time.
I told you I won a contest.
This is like legal studies 101. Like, this is the first day. Like, look.
I won a contest, and I've watched all the episodes of Legal Eagle on YouTube.
He did cover Phoenix Wright once, so
did.
that was fun.
You can at least study some evidence law, really.
Thank you, Emma. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
Message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Sorry.
Throw it out.
If you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Is what she said to me.
Your gumshoe doing Alana. Wow.
I like layering voice acting.
Yeah, I know you do.
It's fucking
That was well done. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read in a few moments.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet?
Not even close.
Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat. Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet.
Oh!
What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? Yes, Edgeworth, we want to do more.
Your reputation's ruined by the lies that... Come on.
Yeah.
Come on!
You gotta be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. Not really a crime when you think about it. I mean, attempted murder, I understand. You were trying to kill him. Murder, I get. But stabbing a dead guy? I mean, come on. Haven't we all done this? That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
This is convoluted as fuck.
Oh, my first fart. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
We all have poked a dead guy before. Thank you, Hey Juice. Hi, Undying Song. Best game. We're near the end, but we will do
Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations at some point later this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a little Phoenix Wright break, but we'll probably get back to it.
Yeah, for sure.
August-ish.
Yeah.
These are really fun. Excuse me.
The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions?
They're an inquiry committee, not a disciplinary committee. That's not their fucking job.
That's true.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth the witness. But this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have
Struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that! It's just, you see, everyone has been talking.
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Not a chance! Unbelievable! Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Giving me more legal opportunities? Yes, please. Why would he ever say no?
I know, right? Then it's settled. The, defense may call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
Defense calls Mike Meekins to the stand. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer.
Damon Gant.
Yeah. 65. He's really good looking for a 65-year-old. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
Demon Gantendorf.
Yeah. For real.
As a defense partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse.
He's like halfway climbing out a window.
He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
He just drops in.
He's a thwomp boy. He looks like a thwomp. I can't stop saying it.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation!
I do like this running theme, but he can't get people to say their name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor?
Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
Ooh. There are still some things unaccounted for,
Oh, like what?
like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
A little from column A or a little from column B.
You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify in our broken court system.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
Alright.
Yeah, spoken like a true innocent man.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene.
Oh.
As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
Him. He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut.
No, it fucking doesn't, buddy.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I bet him hit him hard and fast.
I have an idea of what it is.
I'll tell you if you don't know.
Right there.
Okay.
I think I can present a couple of things.
You got two.
This one
Uh-huh.
or the jar, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
On the fifth statement.
here we go.
I assume that's fifth statement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, buddy. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example.
I stole it.
Yeah. You stole it, then I stole it.
That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar was sitting in your office. Was found inside your safe.
It was found where? What? Huh?
You see, Chief Gant.
You really suck at picking passcodes.
I mean, also, why would he keep it there? These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in this illegal investigation.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Wright? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Were they, my boy? Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
Punish that dick, Gant.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying for work.
Yeah.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My.
Ooh.
Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
Sentango and me on the same wavelength.
Yeah. Let's see, what was it now? A jar, fragment, and a list.
It's a weird sentence.
For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Doc was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
when investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Oh.
Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know.
All right, Archie. In return, though,
I know! That place, right?
Huh? Oh, what are these guys, telepathic?
I got that ESP, son.
Well done.
Yeah.
Nice little twist on it. That's for longtime fans.
Yeah. Running joke. We have those. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright.
Phoenix Wright is a horror game?
Let's see. You can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Let me save it.
Sure.
Right? There's a lot to this testimony, and I think I have to press a couple of things before I do anything.
Okay. Like I said, you can do whatever you feel.
Unregistered evidence production must be relevant to the case of the trial. Okay.
The chat is just being very silly.
Yeah,
It's cracking me up.
if they're found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. I think that's important.
I'll save you some hassle.
Yeah.
You're in you're in Press Town, not Present.
Yeah. Alright.
There's one in particular you need to press.
Alright. This one?
Uh,
There we go.
How can you look me in the eye,
this one.
and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here.
Thank you, Judge.
But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye.
Well, now do you see?
Really, Chief Gant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would be, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh!
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is a sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
Yes! You left the evidence in your drawer and in your safe. What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth? I was like,
Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. Yes. 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 So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out of the open now. Audrey, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little?
By all means, please do. We're used to this sort of thing.
All right, so that's a big one.
Yep. You got it.
I'll press this. Just
Sure.
nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
I assure you, I am an asshole.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out?
Yes.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. They're acting like this is a shocking revelation.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well then, here's this cool song. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped to forge evidence? Who else would it be?
Yeah.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant? The one who admitted to forging evidence? Okay.
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstance. Thank you, James.
It's so weird to watch.
Yeah.
Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. The reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, wait. You must mean puppet, as it's someone who is... I just gotta talk to myself here for a
Yeah.
moment.
I didn't advance
I
it. It just did.
understand. It's just, ooh, that was embarrassing.
Admit it, Chief! You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive was to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her!
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this, that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
That makes no sense.
Yeah, no. That her not doing it
Can
is
you
more.
prove the person is blackmailing him? Well, you're blackmailing them! He's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than a mere conjecture.
Mere conjecture is my middle name, Your Honor.
It might be.
Yeah. Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Coming back to Goodman's murder, let's do
That's
it.
right.
Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Ooh.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What?
I like your little jiggle there.
It
your
helped
little
me
shake
get the
and shimmy.
voice going.
Yeah.
Order! Order! I said order! How do you think our roommates feel when I do that?
Yeah, probably. You're not dealing with your average judge anymore, Kakarot. I have risen above and become the legend. Your little.
Yeah, well, it helps me yell. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of blackmail and murder. That's impossible. I didn't know where we were going when I started doing the eyes. I was like, Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? Ultra instinct, Judge.
Yeah.
Gavel smash. Alright. That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder. Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man.
7'2" man.
The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Sorry, tacit blues. I'll see what I can do. I know that evil laugh.
record.
Yeah, good job. This is the ID card list. Sorry. That was me reading our comments.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID card. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Stretch it out. Yeah, let's take a fresco break.
All right now.
Man, there's more evil after. I'll let you do the next one in a sec. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday.
Let me see that.
7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7.
Yeah. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my copy.
I just feel like this is where he should just be found guilty. Like, as soon
Yeah.
as we prove it. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. It's over. He's just, like, he's clearly contradicting this. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean he's that stupid. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Look at him shaking his
I just
fist.
wanted like the whole crowd to just be like 777. Really? Is that what? Why? Order! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say to this?
Nothing.
I think he's a little bit more mad than that.
The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it! You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell
He's
me.
starting to get pissy.
When you entered the room, weren't you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Warlock Punch! This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. This one's a little weird. If you can't figure it out, I'll let you know. I'll give you a shot.
This, right?
Nope.
Oh, wait, Edwards brought that. Never mind. Is it this tape?
Nope.
Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Oh, it's his ID card, because he left it, right?
Lost item report.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I think you passed it.
There it is.
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm sorry. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filed out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police.
Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask?
I didn't.
Because he needed to enter the evidence room on that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant.
Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him.
I think you gotta get angrier when he's growling
Yeah.
and shaking his fist.
Yeah.
He's about to unleash some yelling, I'm imagining. There's no other way that murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Well done, Phoenix. Well done.
Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman?
Exactly. But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room.
There we go.
He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
I didn't see him for days. I also lent him this.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No!
Oh my gosh! I was expecting a yell, but I wasn't expecting that. Chief, Gant, you didn't! The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind. He just pissed on the third rail.
Yeah, that did look like it.
Would you choose the police department as a place to commit murder? After the murder, you contacted Lana Sky on your state-of-the-art cell phone. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
You drove the car, you idiot!
I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems.
I didn't get invited. It's very important. That's what kind of word. I wanted to be there for
Yeah, I
the
wanted to give you
class.
support. Still, you're the chief of police.
It's just like I'm not invited by me. It seems. Didn't get an invite. It seems petty to me.
It's so obvious. You had the entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
I mean, you kind of proved that you could get away with that earlier, but sure. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was just a useless clue, just taking up space. I had to scroll by so many times. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence! To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. Screwdriver. Or the parking stub.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was enjoying the the weird nerd out going on there.
Okay.
Well done, chat.
Yeah.
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver. Well, what does that have to do with this case?
There we go.
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... Ah! I was asked to go by Chief Canton, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body of to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye!
who I'm trying to get off any murder charges. That was totally an accomplice to this murder.
Order! 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 What's going on here?
Fuck this trial. Nobody wins.
Yeah, right. Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Here we go.
Chief, God, please say something. Hi, Grace. We'll make sure to buy all the costumes.
Hello. I believe your time's up.
My time's up?
Sorry, Wright, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General. Yes, we have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
It's so ridiculous.
I mean, he's basically pleading the fifth, but like...
At the worst time?
Yeah.
What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
I wish Edgeworth just came down that way road. Like a big pussy, you know? Just went after him.
Like a bitch! Run away, don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well,
You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current, wink, chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of the body. Do you have any concrete proof? Not yet.
See no proof yet?
We don't have it yet. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence.
See, Archie? There you go.
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What?
Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Writer. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Archie, I'll leave the rest to you. Cool. This feels good.
Yeah.
All right, but we're live. We're ready. Let's keep going.
Sure.
Let's finish this bad boy up. We're almost through it. Let's keep going.
This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. I'm mixing up their voices.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. Another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
I thought you agreed we're not going to call any more witnesses from the prosecution, but this trial's stupid and breaks all the rules anyway.
Right.
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
I call on a sky.
Be like, you should call Anna Smythe, you know?
Yeah.
She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't stop now.
You're right, she is the world's worst defense client.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls forth Angel Star.
The defendant? Miss Lana Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body in accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Oh, I actually thought it was like rolling that way where he was like, Mr. Edgeworth's orders? You know?
Yeah.
Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
I think it's Lana.
Huh?
Oh, she can again.
Chief Gant? I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana?
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences.
There's no need for you to do this.
But yeah, why are you like reminding everyone of just how much of a shithead and how guilty you are?
Yeah. God, what are you, the fucking president?
No!
Constantly being a scumbag.
Alright. I'm gonna hear that one from Stanga.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
I don't think you can do that.
Ah! This isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right then. I've got a lunch date to meet.
I told you Edgeworth was like Miller Dustin. Woo! Thank you, Tacit.
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
All right.
I really have to pee.
Oh wow, we made it to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, man. Crazy how long this goes.
Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief, he's something else, hey pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office!
My office?
Sure. I'll take the place of that top knotted girl you used to work with.
Could he mean Maya?
Still, it's like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Yeah, it is not fair. Why did we have that?
Yeah.
Why is that the rule? Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, this is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
There we go.
Risk? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean he forfeits it?
Wait, no, this is probably Emma.
I mean, he forfeits his right to say anything too.
Yeah,
I got it right. I saw the exclamation point. And I'm like,
Anna! Are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Happy. I murdered a man.
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
what do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
good attitude, Gumshoe.
Gumshoe's starting a revolution.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you just wait here?
No, I'm going with you.
Uh-huh.
I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued.
Right
now.
now! Super long episode, go!
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not too long considering how late we started.
That's true. We started at 7. It's about 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Trial Ladder 2. Okay, let's fucking do this.
Oh, you upgraded to a coat.
Yeah, I did.
Oof.
It's late and I'm gonna do some editing after this. My sleep schedule is shifted. I gotta shift it back starting tomorrow. But tonight I'm staying up.
Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? You guys ready? And be a pain in the ass.
Ms. Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. Still, somehow. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath! We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth. How did that go again?
Like her fucking side eye right there.
Yeah.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, Your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
All
I
right.
mean, you have nothing to lose at this point. You've
Yeah,
already,
for
like,
real.
you're, like, super in trouble. The thing he was
Even if
blackmailing
you
you
get-
for is already out in the open. Like, go for it.
Yeah, fucking Pyrrhic victory all the way.
I worked alongside Gant for years. Then everything changed when I met Steven. He was a great guy, but I was kind of bored.
That's pretty funny.
There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found prosecutors' money, I was rearranged the crime
You
scene.
started the grunt so early
Yeah,
in
I
that
did.
sentence. I knew you were in trouble.
My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
You already confessed to a capital offense and it turned out to be a lie. Fuck you.
But Lana,
Dustin increasingly sounds like a South Park character.
Yeah.
Sorry. Respect my authority as chief prosecutor.
Yeah.
Chief prosecutor.
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant had nothing to do with this. This is so stupid.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning.
please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside.
Was I
Deep down,
thinking
she's really
in my
screaming in
head?
agony.
Do I say what I'm thinking? Like, how does everyone do that?
Maybe he's just whispering the whole time.
Yeah. It's like a Garfield comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
So Phoenix is Garfield and everyone else is John Arbuckle.
I mean, it explains how stupid they are. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
All right. There we go.
Press the fourth statement.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
It's one of those things where, like,
I know.
I know exactly
know.
what to do, but
You say you did this all by yourself.
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
There you go. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible.
Why did you turn your back?
The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
don't say something,
Something like that? What?
You suck.
Boo! Boo this woman!
Boo, Lana. Boo, Lana. Boo, Lana Sky. Boo.
Deep South Park references.
Yeah.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away.
I like how vague you are.
It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
All it's just to protect me.
Protect you from what?
So, when you found this scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes.
You just press that.
Okay.
You planted the tip of Darkseid.
And then you moved on the body?
But why? Why would you do that?
Thank you, Edgeworth. Asking the question that we have been asking since this whole fucking thing started. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that to everything and anything?
Oh man, it feels like Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my god, yes. Lana's Organization 13.
You of all people should know, Edgeworth.
I'm a
Yeah.
terrible human being.
You've always had a good head on your shoulders. I like that in a man, but I could never be with you. You're too stuck up. I just want a little excitement in my life.
Oh. Oh man.
Oh,
I like other people booing. More like Lana whine.
yeah, she sucks.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask her for the sake of others. Why did you move the body?
Yeah, that's a good question.
When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was. By Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk.
Yeah, 'cause I moved it.
Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body?
The pieces of the jar that scattered during the events threatened my plan.
Fucking what?
Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Jar committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
What? The hell was that?
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened.
Sorry, Tacit says she reminds me of my cat. A little bit like Daisy.
Yeah.
A little bit like Daisy.
A question for me.
Satanga says, Dustin, is there any character in the series you hate more than Lana? For me, I've only played the first two, and the second game's a little bit of a blur. I'm thinking about like looking through the character list and seeing if there is anyone.
Ooh, that's
But
a
nothing
tough
comes
one.
to mind for me in my limited Phoenix
Lana
experience.
is much more. I played this game twice, and I haven't played 2 or 3. I'm thinking about some other characters that I just can't fucking.
You have
stand.
played 2 and 3, you just haven't played them the second time.
Yeah, I haven't played
Yeah.
him a second time. Haven't played him recently.
Right.
Although I could go
He
with.
says, I know a lot of people hate Mo. Which one's Mo?
Oh my god, I don't remember Mo.
Is Mo the clown?
Oh yes, yes he is.
See?
Yeah, Mo's the clown. I didn't mind him so much.
I thought I liked this character,
Yeah.
right? Didn't he have like
Yeah.
a funny shtick?
Yeah, he even like referenced the theme to the Fresh Prince one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. We gotta write you a new Fresh Prince theme song.
That'll be my second or third Fresh
He's
Prince
sitting on
parody.
a Cobra Commander Fresh Prince theme.
Oh,
that
boy.
I don't know. Maybe if you guys give up the bits, Dustin will sing the "How I Became the."
Now I gotta do another Gant scream in a minute.
Yeah.
So I can't do that because I don't want to destroy my voice.
Old Bag destroyed his voice.
Oh my god.
We might have to figure out a new way to do her in the next game. I don't hate her, but I don't love her either. So I don't
Yeah.
really like her. I like the circus case. I really do. I like the circus case. I thought was fun in my memory.
Yeah.
Like it had some cool twists. I like the different characters. It's like the Steel Samurai case of
Yeah.
the first game, and I like that one too.
Yeah.
for the
You
most
know
part.
you know who I didn't like?
Oh.
Luke Atme. I
Oh.
think he's from the third game.
I don't know. Look at me.
Case 2 and Justice for All, that was a real slog in my opinion. Okay.
In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
Yeah, Luke's from the third.
Yeah.
I see.
I remember him just being an ass.
I'm looking forward to doing these games. What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Yep.
So you gotta present the jar.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
At the,
This one.
yeah.
Present the jar. Right?
Yep. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring everyone's attention. A significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction. In my testimony, it's more likely than you think.
Woo! Go ahead.
Old internet meme reference.
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
Order! Order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical.
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Yeah.
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may continue her testimony.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
So do you know what to do here?
Yeah, they weren't all wiped away because one was taken and hidden in Chief Gant's safe.
Right, so you gotta present it on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so I just kept going.
Dustin forgot we're doing a show.
Yeah.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
All right.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
All right, here we go.
Edward knows Phoenix is all about them reassembled jars.
There we go.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you are unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it! She really didn't know! There's something even more disturbing about this final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up at the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
Ace Detective!
Nick Foxwood.
Yeah.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my knickers. They were in my mouth all along. How can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor?
What?
When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first...
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No! No!
The judge got to do one. Cool.
Yeah, I
Good
didn't
for
think that- I
him.
didn't think that was coming. Wait! I'm not the one on trial here.
Love how fucking
I'm sitting in the big boy chair. I have my hammer.
Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces.
But, why? Why?
But why though?
Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
But why would Chief Gant do that?
We have explained this multiple times. He directly benefits from this anytime this happens.
That was absurd.
Yeah.
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Oh my god, she...
No, I did it on my own.
Please stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Do you bite your thumb at me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Sorry to quote Shakespeare on
Yeah,
you, but...
no, for real.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Foul lies. Sorry, what? Judge, what are you doing here? I got so proud of myself, and then, nope. Foul lies. Imagine that coming from my own client.
Who has committed perjury like 8 fucking times for the specific purpose of preventing someone from being found guilty of a crime. She is doing that. She is doing the same thing that she's yelling at him for right the fuck now.
Right.
Why are you suck? Fuck you. I hate you so much. Oh, I keep forgetting like how much I fucking hate her.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wow!
Wait a minute. What if... You're losing your marbles.
Yeah.
We're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap.
I am gonna scream so loud and totally lose my
Is
marbles.
something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana may be right after all.
What do you mean, right?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Miss Sky, please testify once more. If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
Seriously.
This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Thank the fucking Lord. You still got Gant to come back later. Son of a...
All right.
Takes forever.
The witness may testify once more for the final time.
Good Lord, how many second chances is this girl gonna get? God damn it. Okay.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Doc were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Cat help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. What a crazy ride we're all on. An emotional roller coaster.
We know this! Judge, why are you surprised by every fucking thing?
What? Sorry, it's very weird. One of the things you have to do. I just read it and was like, really, Gabe? Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again.
I think Lana's like, I'm right here! Look at the book, you idiot!
Yeah.
How convenient. Hey! There's a picture here!
It doesn't make any sense that she would take a fucking picture. She's trying to, he's just trying to forge evidence. Why would she take more evidence?
Maybe she took the picture before she put that plan in place. This is strange. And the last horse finally crosses the finish line. Edgeworth sounds like Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow! Actually,
Yeah.
there's a little something there. Can you say my grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards?
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba.
Yeah!
Yeah, it sounds...
Yeah!
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Good call.
I'll have to do my Kaiba for somebody else.
Yeah.
Rare card. That sounds fake enough to be the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Look at me, I'm Seto Kaiba. I have a dragon fetish and I sound like Brock from Pokemon.
fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, man. Alright.
This is the actual crime scene.
All caps. Perfect!
No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be?
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this?
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whose ever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints. They're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
He's tried so hard.
Just get so fucking mad.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Oh boy. Here we go again. I feel like CJ from Grand Theft Auto. Oh shit, here we go again. Well, okay. Oh, what? I'm sorry. Okay, I forgot this happened.
Yeah. I like that thing they just ran up to there. His big, like, 7-foot self and just doof, doof, doof.
Come now, Edgy.
You know?
Come now,
Just
would
fly
you?
to the left.
This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. I just saw that we can get an auto game over.
Chief Gant?
What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be the risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Oh!
Fuck!
That ain't it, Chief!
Boom!
Oh man, Edgeworth.
Woo!
Dude, that's perfect.
That was great. Return to your post by that warp pipe, you swamp.
Oh, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean?
Why are you engaging?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Fucking why?
Yes, that's bullshit. Wait, you mean? You still have some conclusive evidence?
Yes, I made it this morning. Oh, wait, no. No, I don't. But someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, You will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall?
You cannot. If you do show, it's game over.
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Nice cover.
What? You lie!
I think he's losing a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Chief Cat?
You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! The conclusive evidence!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? You found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department!
Like anyone cares.
Alright.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, right, Joe? Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit it?
Also, he still can't testify.
Yes. Well, yes. Yes. This is confusing.
Yeah.
They're not following their own rules.
I was the first person.
This is testifying. You can't do that. All of this stuff needs to be thrown out.
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had to plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
Like,
Everyone in this case sucks and have committed so many crimes.
seriously.
Actually, Meekins is the only original character from this case who hasn't committed a crime.
Him and the Blue Badger.
Ah.
All right, he was there at the murder scene. That's right.
Yeah.
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
That's why I messed with the evidence. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? Yes. Yes. That is true. That is this whole fucking case.
Yeah. Marshall to Star to... Oh my gosh.
Hey, everybody guilty.
Nice
Thank
read.
you, Satanga. That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant. That you were hiding the cloth, you cut off the victim's vest and you're safe.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, but being chief and all. But it's not better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine!
Show evidence?
Yes. Another, like, game over moment. It's crazy. You should save just in case you accidentally, like, click a button wrong, because I do not
Yeah.
want to go back.
Yeah.
I was looking at the chat and everyone was like, yeah, I fell for the game over because I was honest.
Yeah.
This trial sucks as a player, I will also say.
Yeah, the
It's
fifth
really
trial,
mean.
it's neat, and they did a lot of neat things in like the mechanics, but the actual trial, the characters, the way the story plays out,
It has good moments, but it's a pain in the ass to do. Like, if we
Yeah.
were to... I don't think
really
I'll play
is.
this again, I'll just watch our stream
yeah, that's
in
true.
the future, but... This one I would play again, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I would just stop with
It's
the last
just- it's-
case, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Thought Karma was great.
yeah.
But anyway, Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
When she was passed out, I took her arm and smacked it on the cloth.
You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer, I think. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is Emma! No. Emma Sky?
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want you to kill me too.
Yeah, for real.
That's a loud one.
Oh, you're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death?
How could you monster?
I knew you couldn't yell that. Miss Sky.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yeah. You acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky. It's not over yet.
What?
Also, did you shove Gant out of the way? How does this work? I said this trial isn't over yet.
Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend,
stupid.
is a serious offense.
Coming from the former police chief, right?
Yeah, for real.
This is so stupid.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Alright.
I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter, cat? Got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
All right, Columbo.
That's what I was going for. I'm glad you were with me on the
Just
little...
one little thing that
Just,
bothers me.
just one little thing.
Oh, and what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is.
Don't you know we're talking about a contradiction?
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
It's the photo because he has blood on him.
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold! This piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
This one, right? And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Destroy the eye! That's so silly. Woo! Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Ho! But that piece of cloth. Wait! There's no blood on it!
I gotta prepare myself.
Are you sure? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. There's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
No, this is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword.
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago. That you personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer! I thought that was going to be so much louder. I was like leaning away. It's finally all over.
There we go.
It's very weird to see him sweat.
Oh, that was close, Writer. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean, you refute his allegations?
You see that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Bitch, please.
Order! Order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Ajay? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Yep.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
That's not fair.
Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. There we go.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct.
Somehow.
It's not.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth,
True, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
well, Mr. Wright,
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
I did not. I admit, I refused to present it at one point.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
Come again?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Archie, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward you can't really believe.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Here we go.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Lawyering 101.
Watch this. Sorry, I just... A handsome family picnic woefully underpopulated by bees. A large influx of bees ought to put a stop to that. When I did the what's this, I'm like, oh my god, I have to do Dr.
I
Bees
did
now.
not think you were going there, but alright, I'll take it.
Here we go.
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in the book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be thrown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
Gonna grout.
Yeah.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. I think that's the way Phoenix sounds in Edward's head.
Oh, yes! That's what Gant sounds in his head. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and the only person who that it could be! Damon Gant! The killer was you!
Let me just...
You need press up for you?
No, I got it. Deep breaths.
Easy laugh.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum! For
Hey.
2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman.
Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. First of all, fuck you. You have an organ in your office.
Yeah, he's like.
Second of all, fuck you.
Also-
You can think of better ways to do that. Third of all, fuck you. You planned all this.
Like, fit the ball? He broke his trunk to open it. That means I just like to think he just went.
The fucking
Yeah.
Ganondorf, like,
That's what I'm saying.
"Ah,"
That's,
you know.
that's what I'm expecting him to do. Have like Bruce Goodman in one hand and his other hand. Leaving the prosecution's car aside. How? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments in the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same.
Oh, God.
Oh God!
The
Boo!
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 Fuck you.
Can they refuse his right to monologue?
You remember when I told you we're not so different, you and I? We're not so different, you and I. Yes, I believe you did say that.
One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Audrey,
What?
looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
No, I will visit your prison. You know.
Yep.
I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, RJ. Thanks for all the memories there. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
Fuck off. You too. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes.
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I handcuffed me forged evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. God, you're in a lot of trouble.
God couldn't get her all out of all that
That's
trouble.
true.
Good Lord.
So many people, man. Jake is going away for a while. Damon's going away.
Damon's out, Jake's out, Bruce is dead.
Yeah.
Emma's the only one who got off
Yeah,
scot-free.
yeah. I mean, scot-free is a stretch.
Yeah,
Got the whole sister thing.
yeah, Wright's got some stuff to figure out, and Edgeworth,
A lot of-
fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top, and we'll follow your journey on...
Oh no!
I completely blanked. Oh my God.
Man,
It is so late.
you were setting yourself up for that. It just.
I had it, and it just.
Like the skateboarder, he's coming down the rail, everything's looking
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Face plant.
Oh my God. That sucked.
Oh boy. Fuck you,
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it. I only did my job. It's not like I like you or anything. He's having a tsundere moment.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us.
Me too, buddy. Christ.
Miss Sky.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder, however.
I got this list here, and Jesus Christ. He's making a list, checking it twice. He's gonna find out all lot of Sky's crime.
Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for all of these crimes at
Yeah,
a later
for real.
date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Bitch, you going to jail.
For real. Oh man, get ready to experience some heavier chains. Fuck.
Oh, okay.
Tired.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already.
Yep.
Regarding the charge of murder, I really think you guys should cancel the confetti. Can we do anything about the confetti? The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. I told you not to do the confetti! This is really inappropriate. What are you cheering for? Our whole system is corrupt. Everyone went down.
Seriously, like this is
We have 2 years of criminals. We might have to let out of jail. Like, there are so many consequences.
yeah. This is like
Not the confetti. Not now.
this is like riots in the streets levels of corruption.
Uh.
Jesus Christ.
Although Tacit was like, this is like a Last Week Tonight with John Oliver kind of material. I'm like, actually, yeah.
Hi, I'm John Oliver. Well, we're going to call this segment Stupid Watergate. Has all the consequences of Watergate, but everyone involved is extremely stupid. It's an actual direct quote from the show when he talked about the Russia shit.
Andrew's fighting Omega Flowey all over again.
Oh my god.
Emma? Why the long face?
Why not the long face?
I know.
Good god.
I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit!
No, that's not it. Just now after the trial ended,
You don't have to redo it.
you know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. This fucking Groundhog Day bullshit's gotta stop. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
No, wait, don't go. Dr. Gumshoe, what is it? Come
Wait,
back.
no, please come back. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty, and then top it off, you call me I've seen happier people at funerals. Are you reading from a script off screen? Had to remember your fucking lines. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana,
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Yay, let's commit more crimes.
More fucking... Oh, the police department sucks.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
it's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
Sis?
I asked you to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through these past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of you and hear me with your ears and I don't know, just stop it. I was scared of how you'd react and
Sis, you were only doing it for me.
No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day, and hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have to apologize. Yes, she does.
You have a lot to apologize
Oh
for.
my god. Do you not know the like 7 different trials she's gonna be in over the next months of her and your life? Oh my god, this is so much hell.
I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Yes, I finally get your apartment. I'm
Yeah.
gonna move in next week.
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, Emma. Emma.
Da-da-da. Big ol' hug.
Boo.
Well, at least Emma deserves this happy ending.
She'll realize later in life her sister's just a fucking loser. Just a shitty person. No one can change the past. Am I having like a Scrubs like narration moment
Yes,
here?
you are.
The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes.
You gotta look up into the
Yeah.
corner.
Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we could find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on to a brighter future.
All right, Pastor Wright, keep going.
Cue a song from 2004.
Yeah.
At least that's what I felt watching those two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Heard you was talking shit.
Where was he hiding?
I was standing next to the couch. It's the same color as my suit, and I was blending in. Like a chameleon. I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened.
No, he's gonna blame you because you suck.
We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. Flashback?
You guys know.
Yeah, you guys know. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known this to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth.
Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
You either die a prosecutor or live long enough to be a murderer.
Good lord.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Ganton, you're meant for Manfred von Karma. We're both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. Being murderous douchebags. If you can just avoid killing anybody,
You'll be fine.
you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Oh god, this shit. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone
This is the case that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend.
Good lord.
Dustin and Andrew started playing it about 5 weeks ago. They'll keep playing it because it's the case that never ends.
Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Yeah, what is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. See, I thought we were gonna spite Lana here, but
Yeah, Edgeworth gets a happy ending.
if you want to give Edgeworth a happy ending, it's the evidence list. Take that!
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had 1.5 of the evidence list, and I had the other.
Oh boy. The
You're going-
evidence was inside us all along.
I feel like going full like Kingdom Hearts 2 ending.
Oh my
The
god.
part we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
Fuck.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth?
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Zoop!
Edgeworth! What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright.
Oh, I love it when he looks that way.
But what I face now is my problem.
I don't like it when he looks that way.
Oh my god, he's got such a mean face.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Very well.
Go to
I
jail!
better be going too.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do,
Do
not,
not
pass
pass
go.
go.
Do not collect $200.
Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you.
Scientific investigation.
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thanks, sis, I will.
Oh, fade to black. Finally.
And so another case came to a close.
Fuck.
As for the sisters, I have faith. About 60 years they'll see each other again.
Yeah, good lord.
Faith that their lives have only just begun.
Except for Lana's, because she's in jail. She's in so much fucking trouble.
And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, Detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But,
I thought you said it was okay.
yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guy in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh?
Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Ugh!
I hate this family!
This house is a fucking nightmare!
God! God!
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill.
What now? Huh?
What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Hey man, you and me finish?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Okay.
Man, I do not remember this song.
Whew.
I arranged
Shut
for a friend of
up!
mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office.
It ended your life as a free
Still,
citizen.
I'll manage my way to find back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
Behind plexiglass, get out of here.
I mean, in Ace Attorney 5, they do have a criminal prosecutor.
Oh.
The guy who's literally in jail for murder, but he's like,
We did it!
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Prosecutor Black Quill. I love that guy.
Starting Sunday. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I thought it was a god for a moment there. In the end, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation at the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show. You can't shake me off that easily. Yeah.
So yeah, starting Sunday at 6, we're gonna be doing some Super Mario Maker 2 streams. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
If we can finish Kingdom Hearts 2, the monster that it is, eventually we will stream Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I'm working on
And-
the evidence episodes now.
Evidence. Oh no!
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner is keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show him now. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that dick capture.
Oh boy. Yeah, we got to the worst part of Kingdom Hearts 2. There's just cutscene after cutscene after cutscene shortly after Goofy's death. And it's just fucking nonsense. And then it sets up for you to just revisit all the worlds again.
Yeah.
It's such padding. Thank you, game.
Are we like
That was a good read.
the blue?
Getting praise for your Meekins.
The blue badger continues to dance in front of the police station to this day.
Oh!
The blue badger died in 2004.
Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts thing, it's just like 30 minutes of cutscenes and it all just sucks. And
Oh
then,
yeah, that was
and then it
really.
just adds so much fluff to the game.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water?
Yeah, I did not expect Blue Badger to fall over. I can see that's your favorite part. It's a nice little tune. Like I said, I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal in the menu, the right way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is sweet as kind. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller on exam time. I just assured not to eat it backwards. That went fast.
Yeah, it did. I was having trouble with Lana earlier.
Don't kick our camera.
Sorry.
Pilly in the gang water sounds like an euphemism. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he's
been doing or something or for another how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial too, so I'd better be. Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. That's what his chair looks like.
Yeah. Phew.
So yeah, look forward to Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm sorry, Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Twitch streams eventually. Mario Maker 2, and Justice for All.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah, nothing soothes the soul like French country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Coming! Well, see you around, Nick.
It's hard to differentiate between my Maya and my Emma voices.
It's true. Well, they kind of filled the same roles, so.
Yeah. Dun. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Oh. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That background is in the first trial. Or is it the first case or second case?
I think it's the
second.
I think it's the second.
Yeah. Oh.
Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. Hmm? What's going on? Okay. Yeah, this is when Edgeworth goes on sabbatical
Right.
for like 2 fucking games.
Yeah, we had a couple people say we need to play all the ones, including the ones that didn't come to America, so.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe.
I'm gonna take the train to Europe
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything.
from America.
I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Well, she's taking the train to the...
I know, it's playing.
Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Oh, okay, I have to.
Yeah. Same thing. See, this is a picture of me back when I had ethics. And
Yeah, for real. I like Emma wearing the hat.
yeah, it's a cute touch.
And
It's-
we bring this
It's gonna do the
to a close.
Yeah. Nice.
And that is all for tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Enjoy your 4th of July. We will be back here Sunday, 6 o'clock, Mario Maker 2.
Pretty
Get
excited.
excited.
If y'all got
I
levels,
just lost it back there. We were frustrated.
yeah. Whew. If y'all got levels, send them in the chat. We'll play them.
Yeah, actually, or just message me if you want on at your preferred way to message me. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a bad idea on Sunday if you come back or other people.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would totally be up for we play your levels.
Yeah.
We can put that in the title. I don't know how many people are going to do it, but good night, Hayden. Good night, Mike. Good night, David. Good night, anyone else watching who's been quiet in the chat. But this was fun.
Yeah.
This will be on archive. This will be on YouTube. So peace.
Happy 4th of July to all, and to all a good night.